handsome and daring drivers. She blathered on as they slipped through the gate behind Dot's mother. No one stopped them. Patty breathed a sigh of relief. 20 yards past the entrance, she cut Dot off. "Gotta go find my mother. See ya, Dot." Dot gave her a hangdog look, her prospects for friendship once again slim. "Sure, if you say so." Patty almost felt bad for her. "But let's keep talking later," she said, and Dot perked back up and gave her a smile. Patty turned and disappeared into the crowd, feeling pretty good about herself. After all, what harm could the promise do? She wouldn't have to break it exactly. No, she'd be gone long before it could become an issue. The path ended at the top of the stands. Big poured concrete steps set into the hillside. Below them curved the first turn. The track was packed brown dirt, and it had a slight inward tilt, the result of bulldozers building up a berm around the outside. Behind turns 2 and 3, the Eno River glinted in the fading light. The whole track was fitted into a bend in the river, the area naturally flat as a result. Patty counted the rubberneckers filling the stands. The number grew and grew, the size of the crowd delighting her. What an immense mass of people to never see again. Her heart fluttered. She knew, felt it in her bones, that where her other schemes had failed, this one would succeed. Practice, after all, makes perfect. The first time she ran away, her mistake had been inviting Janet Fontaine. Janet was afraid of her own shadow. Patty knew that. Hell, everybody knew that. But it had been a calculated risk. Janet's parents were rich enough to own a 5-bedroom house on Queen Street. They had a woman who lived in the old converted woodshed and washed and cleaned for them. They had a basement the size of a swimming pool and a larder that took up nearly half that space. Janet would have been a joke out there on the road, nothing but dead weight. But Patty aimed to get at least a few cans of peaches out of her traveling companion before ultimately ditching her. It hadn't worked out that way. Janet lost her nerve, told at the first opportunity, and a policeman in a shiny black and white Ford interrupted Patty's march to the interstate. He turned her around, walked her home, and delivered her right back to her mother. Mildred Finch answered the door with tears in her eyes, hugged the policeman, thanked him again and again, and made him promise to come over one night for a home-cooked meal. He doffed his hat, said he'd make it if he could. Then he was gone, and her mother stopped pretending. "You little monster," had been the first words out of her mouth, followed by a swift backhand that knocked Patty down to the rough floorboards. "Mama, don't." "No backtalk. That's no way for a little girl to behave, is it?" Patty shook her head, pain shooting up her neck. Mildred Finch made a fist, knelt, then buried it in Patty's stomach. Mildred liked to hit. She was good at it, and she liked it. And in her experience, such a combination was one of life's rare treasures. "No, what?" "No, ma'am," Patty said, air slipping out fast between her gapped teeth like a snake's hiss. The starburst of pain in her gut making it difficult to breathe. "That's better, little one," Mildred said, and launched into her usual lecture about the evils of the world. As always, the chief danger listed was Patty's father. They had been running away from him for 2 years, hiding themselves in various small towns dotted across the North Carolina countryside. Even at 10 years old, Patty had a sense of the strange resonance between their original escape and her own current desire to vanish. Her mother had run away and deemed it justice. Patty ran away, and her mother labeled it a betrayal. Mildred worked herself up into the usual frenzy, pacing back and forth, gesticulating wildly with her hands. Patty twitched each time one of the hands came nearer. "He was no good trash, Patty. He'd push that rotten pecker into anyone who would take it. And who would take it? Who would let a man like that slide his slimy little worm into them?" Patty knew the answer to this, and gave the response her mother expected to hear. "Horse, ma'am?" "That's right, little girl. If you want to get by in this world, if you want to see it true, that's all you really need to know. Men are bastards, and any woman who would let them have their way, who would open her legs, is a whore. Isn't that right?" It wasn't a question. She nodded.